I'm going to attempt to put into words the journey I've been on in the last week and the profound shift I'm going through. And the reason I hope this might be quite interesting is I think because unlike many videos that talk about spirituality or whatever we're calling this journey, I really want to acknowledge how difficult it is. And I find that most spiritual sharers come from a very oh, this is wonderful, isn't this divine, love and light. So what I'm about to talk about is great progress, is a huge shift, is a huge breakthrough, is fantastic. But actually, the reality of the shifting, the reality of the change, the truth is, people sell spirituality as some sort of joyful, divine process because they're still in the ego, because they're still in the look at me, I'm so spiritual. But the truth of it is, you're just losing yourself. The most authentic, the most spiritual, the most enlightened people are the ones that have removed much of their self. And we often refer to this as the ego. But I'm finding, whilst all that is true, and so, if we call the ego the delusion, the neurosis, the just absolute craziness that we're all conditioned into, once you kind of get past that point, there just becomes this complete letting go of self, this dissolving into nothingness, which brings with it great peace, great stillness, great detachment, great connection. But I'm right in the cusp of touching upon this for the first time. So it also brings with it just this what the hell do I do? It's like Carl Jung talks about, once you've done the shadow work, and what I mean by that, of course, the work never ends. But I mean done the really grueling, 5, 10, 20 years of self-work that really removes the gunge, the absolute delusion, self-hatred. I can't find any other words. I mean, for me, delusion is just the best one, but we all suffer with, the narcissistic mask that we've all been conditioned into wearing to try and protect ourselves, to try and appear a certain way. Because if you think about it, the society we live in is insane. Everything about it is completely insane. So the only way you can conform to that is to be insane, is to wear the masks of insanity, narcissism, to fit in with all the other broken narcissists. And I don't use that word like a libtard. The only reason I use that word is to present the truth that we are all narcissists. If the definition of narcissism is something along the lines of having a false identity of self and projecting that false identity in the world, then my goodness, I mean, obviously the trans movement are the absolute peak of that. But we've all, clearly all being conditioned into having a false identity of self. Because if we were to have anything other than a false identity of self, we wouldn't be able to function in society. Case in point, I can't function in society. I literally cannot work. I cannot have a job. I cannot work for another. I cannot conform to bullshit. I cannot conform to PC nonsense. Because I'm no longer that insane. I'm still a little bit insane because I'm human and we're absolutely, we've just been traumatized and attacked for centuries. So of course, I'm still a bit insane. And those that are truly insane will project onto me ultimate insanity because I don't conform, because I take risks, and they just can't even comprehend that because they're so indoctrinated into the system. Anyway, none of that is what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is this insanity within me where, right, so I've been a pothead for all of my adult life. Only a week ago, I would wake up every morning with an insane compulsion to wake and bake. And I would eat crap food at night. You know, like unholy, disgustingly obscene amounts of crisps or biscuits or chocolate bars. Obviously, partly because I was stoned, but actually, it's filling that void. You know, filling that emptiness within inside, whatever it is you do. And honestly, right, the first layers of this are watching the BBC or working in an office. Like if you're doing those sort of activities, this is the, sorry, I need to find the word, bear with me. Yeah, it's escaping me, but essentially it's self-harm, it's self-hatred. So obviously, me smoking weed comes from what Freud talks about, the Thanatos in me, the self-saboteur in me, the part of me that is scared of being what I potentially could be, what I'm meant to be, of shining brightly, of all the kickback that will get, because obviously people don't like authentic, shining people that speak the truth. And when I say people don't like, I mean the masses don't like. So obviously there's still parts of my ego, essentially, that are scared of being judged. There's a much bigger part of me, the authentic part of me, that's ready to step into his calling and his purpose, that values shining and truth and inspiration much more than like the fear of receiving projection from plebs, which is why I do it. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. This anything we do that isn't for our higher self, that keeps us in the mire, that keeps us in the system. So for me, wanking, smoking, eating junk food. But for most people, working in an office, having a fucking job, being a slave, you know, you're totally sacrificing any alignment, any authenticity, any connection in order for safety, in order for survival, in order for survival in an insane, sick, tyrannical system. So this is how deep these layers are. Now, I never really, I guess I did in my own way. I fell for the society layer, but not in terms of just having a job and being, and I was never so in fear that I was just like, oh, can you hand me some money if I dedicate my life to you? No, I was a businessman from the age of 13. But it was still buying into materialistic salvation. It was still buying into status, and therefore living in the minds of others, caring about other people's opinions of you more than what spirit tells you. Anyway, so now I'm like in this very strange place where I'm at peace. You know, my external is beautiful. I'm currently living in San Cristobal. I have no responsibilities. I have complete trust. You know, obviously not complete trust, otherwise there'd be no desire to smoke at all. But compared to where I was at only a week ago, I have so much. So I've just lost Not Today Satan. I've just had a week ban on Not Today Satan, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose it. And this is after it just jumped by 10,000 subs. I had a week where I made about $1,000 in advertising revenue on Not Today Satan, like life changing. You know, suddenly it was all coming together. And then it gets taken away. But there's just this knowing, there's just this trust that I have to just follow the sign. So the sign could be around Not Today Satan getting taken away. It could just be that I need to tone it down a bit. And that's what I'll try doing. But then if it does get taken away after doing that, obviously the universe is saying to me, no, this isn't the vibration you're meant to be in anymore. You know, this channel, Shadow Surrender, maybe English Refugee 2, that's what you're meant to be doing. And I will follow the signs because I trust. I can now totally see how me trying to control any outcome comes from fear, rather than trusting what I'm showing. And what I mean by that trust is I trust that I will be so well provided for. I know, if I'm honest, I'm talking millionaire state like levels. Not that I really care about that anymore. Of course, there's a part of me that still wants to be rich, but it's not the goal. The goal is just doing what I'm shown feeling more. You know, the more I can just be in the moment, in my body, with self, not going into the mind, not going into doing, not going into trying to be. There's just a huge trust that, let's just say, everything I need will be provided for. And, you know, I think that will come with great abundance. Because I need to do what I'm doing, and to do this even better, I need a great environment. You know, $100 a night kind of environment. I need fantastic food. I probably need land and animals as well. And who knows what I'm supposed to do. You know, if I'm supposed to set something up to help people escape the UK, well, then I'll need a shitload of money. The universe will give me whatever I need, as long as I stay aligned. And there's just a complete knowing with that now. A complete knowing. So when I lose Not Today Satan, I know that money, that abundance will come again through other means that are more aligned. There's just a complete trusting. There's no fear on that. So I think this is why, you know, it's this fear that I'm trying to speak into is the reason people get a job, or watch the BBC News, or in my case, smoke ganja. You know, there's this lack of connection, this lack of trust supposed to. Anyway, so what I'm trying to express is, I might finally get to the point now, that as I move into this trust, and it is, you know, profound, you know, like it's evidential, like you can feel it, but just in my actions, like I'm so slow now. You know, I walk so slowly. In the last 5 days, I've noticed that I'm walking slowly. I used to live in the future, you know, I used to literally walk with my head forward, stomping into the future. Whereas now it's just like, well, there's nowhere to be other than here. And it's profound. My desire to eat crap at night has just gone. I've started eating fruit instead. Honestly, the last 3 days, I've just eaten chicken and rice in the day and fruit at night. And there's been no desire for crap. There's been no void. There's been no hole to fill. But now I'm in this strange place where I do my YouTube in the morning. I make a smoothie. I have a coffee. Now, only a week ago, I couldn't have a coffee without smoking. You know, the two just went hand in hand, but now I can enjoy a coffee. But then it gets to like 2, 3 o'clock. And I'm just in nothingness. I'm not in anxiety. There's nothing to escape. But there is still that story of boredom. I think because I'm so used to doing. But to just sit and be is still very challenging to me. So whilst I don't feel like any anxiety is coming up that I need to escape, I do end up finding myself having a spliff just because I don't know what else to do. And then I'm full of anxiety. It's incredible. Like, I do this thing that takes me out of alignment, takes me out of, it's not even feeling good, it's just feeling nothing, which is good. You know, I did a video quite similar to this the other day about like how peace is so scary when you don't know it, when all your nervous system has ever known is fight or flight, or dorsal, dead, which I think is pretty much where I was at. Yeah, because this is the compulsion to smoking weed, you know, it makes me basically dead. It makes me want to lie in bed, it makes me want to wank, it makes me go into dorsal, it makes me go into Thanatos, as Freud describes it. And that Thanatos and eros theory is just fantastic. I think that really explains so much. I'd really recommend typing in Carl Jung, eros and Thanatos. Not Carl Jung, Freud. Let me take a breath. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, you know, I'm very close. I'm pretty sure if I ran out of weed now, I wouldn't buy any more, which I'm close to doing, so we'll find out soon. But yeah, what is going to replace it? Like, you can't just, I mean, maybe this is why, you know, I mean, basically, every top spiritual teacher, every guru, every whatever we look up to, they all live in complete solitude. If you look at monasteries, if you look at, not that I particularly look up to them, but, you know, any spiritual teacher has lived in solitude because when you align with peace and essentially nothingness, which could also be described as everything, you know, there is no need for others, there is no need for anything. I feel like if I was to stop smoking, I would create about 10 videos a day, because there's still this part of me that wants to do, as in escape self, by doing something in the external. I don't know, the more I experience this peace and this tranquility, maybe not, but it'd be really interesting to see what I created. And I think this is what's coming. I think something, I think I'm about to get sober and create something really aligned. Part of me wants to say something really big. That might be my ego. I don't know. All I know is that and this isn't me, this applies to everyone. If you surrender, if you do the work, if you align, the universe will use you. And I'm getting a lot of signs that something big is coming, like scary big, potentially. But I'm just open, and I'm not calling it in. I don't really want it. I just kind of want to live in peace. But I know there is this part of me that always wants to create, that always wants to, be moving humanity forward, essentially. It's the divine part of me. It's consciousness. It's consciousness wanting to regain its consciousness. It's fed up with this Maya that it's created. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, I'm really trying to nail the point of this video is supposed to be this insanity within the human mind. Yeah, it's a self-saboteur. It's just a part that wants to destroy yourself. Like, why do I want to get stoned? There's no reason to get stoned. All it's going to do is make me anxious, make me want to play with my worm, and make me start staring at screens. So this morning I've been relatively busy doing my YouTube videos, but there's also been times where I'm just sat looking at this incredible view. But the minute I have a joint, I'll need a screen on, because there'll be some anxiety that I need to escape in the external. And it's so crazy, like, knowing this and not even feeling a need to get high, and yet still doing it. Just because you don't know what else to do. Just because it's all you've ever known. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm really trying to express in the moment, like this battle, this questioning. It might come across as if I'm struggling. I'm not struggling. Like, this is amazing. This is a huge breakthrough, and get into like real depths of I don't even know what to call it. I'll just use the word connection, of truth, of authenticity, of erasure of self. Like, this is amazing. But it's so unknown, because so few people have done this. So few people are able to teach this or tell you this. And also, there are some, of course. I don't think this is, you can only experience it. You can only learn through experiencing it. It's just mental. It's such a profound shift. Yeah, I mean, something big is coming. And with me turning 40 this year, which is, quite a landmark, I can just feel like this huge shift. It's hard to put into words. If it's made any sense to you, drop me a like, leave me a comment. See you soon.